So I'm giving you our next guest, Evhen Tsybulenko, Professor of International Law, Tallinn, Estonia. Hello, Evhen.
Good evening. Slava Ukraini.
Slava Ukraini, Heroям Slava. It's great to see the process of transferring funds has begun, finally. However, why is this happening only now? Why so long?
The problem is that state funds, they have so-called immunity, and it's not so easy to find legally correct procedure to confiscate them. Problem is that our Western partners, they're afraid that if such funds will be confiscated from Russia, it will prevent other countries to invest to Western banks, Western economy in general, because third countries could be afraid that their investments are not properly protected. And that was exactly one of the reasons why this process was so long. Actually, Estonia was one of the initiators to confiscate the frozen Russian funds, but Estonia always stressed that such measures could be effective only if it's done by all countries of European Union and Western Hemisphere in general. And that's why they tried first to negotiate it on European Union level. But unfortunately, as we can see, this issue are still frozen. And because of that, Estonia decided to adopt its own legislation and to show an example to other European Union countries how to do it. So now this draft is almost prepared. It was not yet announced. The exact text, but it seems that during the autumn it could be adopted by Estonia to show the way to other countries.
I would just love to see a small country of Estonia. I was born and raised in Latvia, just by the way. So I would love to see my neighboring country, Estonia, showing an example to the whole world and to the United States, to the United Kingdom, of how things should be done. It would be lovely to see. So when can we expect the next decisive steps from Ukraine's allied countries in this matter? When do you think this will become a trend?
I hope so. Actually, there are some other positive examples outside of European Union. Canada, for example, was among the countries who also introduced such legislation. So basically, I hope that there is a kind of situation. It's same to providing of weapons whatsoever. Everybody afraid to be first. Then somebody started the process, then others start to join it. Of course, it will be pure speculations to say about specific dates, but I hope so, I believe so, that this Estonian example will indeed the step which will move forward the entire process in the entire European Union.
So please talk us a little bit through. How does this process of confiscating funds and returning them to Ukraine work on international level? Like there's a bank or there's a system that finds Russian assets. What happens next? And how to prove that these assets are really Russian?
Yeah, it's another very essential question. As I said, the text of this Ukrainian Estonian legislation was not shown yet, so I could not tell you about specific details. But as I said, it's important to find the legally correct instruments, and there are different approaches how to do it. But it seems that the most reasonable way is to connected to the payment of reparations to Ukraine from that funds. Now there is already a lot of attempts to, first of all, record all Russian international crimes which were committed in Ukraine, also to calculate all damages, and Europe in that sense already takes active part. In Hague, there was the bureaucrat, which actually helps to record those damages which were caused by Russian aggression to Ukraine. So I think, yes, this confiscation will be connected to the reparation of the damages which were actually the result of the Russian aggression.
But
I think it was legally grounded way, let's say.
Okay, thank you very much for this answer. But what legal mechanisms, I mean, this is a new mechanisms and international agreements are in place to facilitate the return of confiscated assets to the country? Because this is a whole new thing, I believe, if I'm right. Please explain it to us, because the international society was not ready for a situation like that. And I'm talking not only about the war, but about the frozen the assets, that large assets, finding these assets, returning these assets not to the previous owner, but to the Ukraine. It's an amazing job to be done, and it has been done, and it's a lot of time and effort. But what mechanisms are in place to make it faster, if there are any?
So as I said, I don't know what will be the exact mechanism because the text of the draft is not open yet. But yes, indeed, it's a very impressive development because, yes, nothing new in the frozen of the different funds, but to confiscate it in favor of another country, it's something indeed pretty new and unique procedure. But of course, it could be done by different ways. It could be done by the decision of the European Union. Also, we should keep in mind, and it's another track, let's say, it's different compensation after the Ukrainian different companies addressed the issue to international arbitrage, and there were already several cases. Then Ukrainian companies won the arbitrage and respectively. There are specific mechanisms how to confiscate different funds if a country refuses to follow the arbitrary decisions. So here it's another possibility. And in certain sense, it's probably even easier because here the mechanism is pretty well established. But of course, problem here that it's only a specific amount of money or funds which are specifically connected to the specific cases, but still the amount of money could be very high, and respectively it also could be used actually.
Can Russia do something about these frozen assets being transferred to Ukraine? Can it, in some way, to block the whole procedure, or the Kremlin is just in a position to sit and wait what is going on?
Of course, they try to put pressure on different channels. The latest development probably is that Russia started to threatening Estonia in particular, that such actions will lead to the confiscation of Estonian and other countries who will use it in Russia. But we should clearly understand that, yes, Russia definitely can do it, but all such confiscation will be clearly illegal, and later they will need to compensate it anyway. Because, of course, before the military defeat of Russia, it could be problematic, but I'm pretty sure that sooner or later Russia will be defeated, and all those damages it will need to compensate.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, and for your experience and for your time.
Thank you for the invitation. It was my own pleasure.
Pleasure was mine. Thank you.